Hello and welcome to the Dual Credit Instructor Orientation for 2021. This is Piper Wilson. I work with several dual enrollment programs here at OTC, and today we're going to be focusing on the information that dual credit instructors need in order to have a successful school year. This presentation is for dual credit instructors approved by OTC and employed by a high school. This information included here could be helpful to school counselors and administrators as well, but the primary focus is for dual credit instructors. Per accreditation, there are a couple of things to keep in mind for today, one of which is the attendance tracking that's required through our accrediting body. We have to track your attendance here today with this event from the Dual Credit Office, and then the separate event that's conducted by lead instructors and department chairs that's related to the courses that you're approved to teach. That also has to be tracked as far as your attendance as well. So I'll tell you later in this presentation how we're going to record your attendance, and please be sure to double check with and remind your department chairs and instructors that you're working with at the educator conference to ensure that they are tracking your attendance as well. That will be very helpful to you to go ahead and get that out of the way and have that attendance tracked. We have a great deal of information to cover today. You can always come back to this YouTube recording to use as a reference throughout the school year, and I will also show you how to access some information and resources to help you throughout the school year as well. But first, let's talk about the big picture of OTC dual credit. We cost the least in the area at 35 a credit hour. Our competitors are 70 a credit hour and above. So OTC dual credit is one of the most inexpensive avenues for students to earn college credit while in high school. We offer courses that have the most applications to the most degrees. We offer courses that have a transfer guarantee through the Core 42 statewide program. We also offer the maximum remuneration to our school partners at 25 a credit hour for completers of the course. And we also have simplified processes. Also, as it relates to the big picture, there are many benefits to students and families specifically. Students are able to accelerate and jumpstart their educational path while still in high school. There are significant cost savings, and students that participate in college early are more likely to succeed in college after high school graduation. Through our course approval process, and because of the Core 42 transfer guarantee that we'll talk about here in a couple slides, the courses that you are teaching in the high school are the courses that we're offering on campus. So for students that take these classes, a 3 credit hour class at 105 while they're in high school versus waiting till after high school to take the same course and the same educational objectives, these dual credit students are saving between 75 and 80% on the cost of each class by completing these in high school with you. It's a huge cost savings, and it has big benefits to students and families. Dual credit also has benefits for you as the instructor of the course and for the schools that you teach through. You gain experience teaching at the college level and with college rigor. That really helps students transition from high school to college life. As an approved dual credit instructor, you can also seek additional employment here through OTC as an adjunct. If you're already approved in dual credit, you have the same credentialing requirements as our adjuncts, so I would encourage you to speak with any of those options and opportunities with your department chairs. The savings to schools and the cost benefits of providing the remuneration back to your school is a win. The simplified process that we offer through OTC helps you, makes the enrollment process and helping your students a lot easier throughout the school year. And then we also provide school report cards back to the school at the end of each school year, and that data can assist you and your school as well. One more big picture item before we move on. The OTC dual credit program has grown exponentially. Each semester we're between 13 and 16%. Sometimes that number goes up to 22%. So I'm sharing this piece of information with you, these increases as far as students enrollment at an unduplicated count and the number of schools we partner with, so that you can see that we do have a good product and we're here to help you and to help students. And that is evidenced by how often our enrollment increases occur. Here are the agenda items that we will cover today. The first item on our agenda is to talk about Core 42. Core 42 is a Missouri Department of Higher Education statewide decision to help students be able to transfer to various colleges across the state, primarily public institutions, but now some private institutions are on board with this as well because it has been so popular and has benefited so many students. Basically, when courses have the Core 42 stamp, they are guaranteed to transfer to any public institution in the state of Missouri. These courses are the focus of OTC dual credit. If you ever have any questions about whether or not your course that you're approved for is Core 42 approved, please go to otc.edu and type in dual credit options by school partner. On that page, we have all the courses for each school and each instructor broken down by school. So you can look for your name under your school and you can note which courses are Core 42 approved. Courses that aren't Core 42 approved, there's not many of them that we offer in dual credit, but that doesn't mean they won't transfer. It is the student's responsibility to contact the institutions they plan to attend to see how these extra courses transfer to other institutions. We have a lot of articulation agreements with OTC in various colleges. A lot of our classes transfer very well to MSU, but again, just because it's not Core 42 approved doesn't mean that it won't transfer. As an approved dual credit instructor, there are two primary contacts to assist you. If you have any questions about the content of your class, syllabus information, grading rubrics, common assessments, anything specific to the approved course itself, those questions all get funneled through the department chair. If you have questions about scheduling your class, how to enroll students in your class, are through the dual credit office. There are some additional resources and departments to help you that we will discuss later on in the presentation, but these are the two main resources and a clear division between the two. Here is a list of items that you can and should discuss with your department chair or their designated lead instructor. On the other hand, here are the items that funnel through the dual credit office. As you can see on the last slide, the items listed were all items related to the content of the course. All the items listed here are related to the enrollment management aspects of the course. If you have questions, concerns, comments related to any of these items on this page, please direct those to dual credit at otc.edu only. If you have questions for your department chair or lead instructor, please email or call them directly. One more item of clarification to assist you is that we have two format options under the OTC dual credit umbrella. We have what we call the seated option, which is typically on-site instruction. With the pandemic, that has become more flexible learning depending on your school district. But when we say seated instruction, on-site instruction, we are talking about you as the dual credit instructor. These courses are taught at the high school, typically with an approved high school instructor such as yourself. These courses are 35 a credit hour. This is good information to note for our website, our dual credit letter that we send you, and also our monthly newsletters. Anytime you see seated or on site, we are referring to you, and there's probably an action needed from you. Alternatively, if you see online or remote instruction, those are OTC employed instructors, typically using Canvas here at OTC. Those classes have a different price point. If you see online or remote instruction from OTC, for example, in our dual credit letters, please disregard that portion of the information. The expectations that we are outlining today and the things that we ask of you throughout the school year are a compilation of requirements through various parties. The primary one is HLC, the Higher Learning Commission. That is the accrediting body for our college, which is the same accrediting body as MSU, MU, UMKC, and many other colleges from across the nation. Essentially, the expectations that we have of you are for quality assurance, so that we have academic integrity, so that we can transfer our courses, and so that everyone involved can have a great experience. Let's move on to additional resources for you. We've talked about the dual credit office as well as department chairs and lead instructors. We also have an online office that provides assistance with Canvas. We have a MyOTC portal that has unique information to you as the instructor. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. We also have a library, a tutoring center, a speech and writing center that are great resources for you as an instructor, and students can use too. You are treated just like an adjunct here at OTC, and any of your enrolled students are treated like college students. So all of these resources are free for you to use, as well as your students that are enrolled. The help desk is another great resource if you ever have trouble with your username and password. You can contact them to forward communications sent to your OTC email to a preferred email address of your choice. That's true for students as well. In any browser, if you type in otc.edu, anywhere on the page you see this MyOTC icon pictured here, that will take you to the MyOTC portal. If you ever have issues or your students have issues with username and password, the contact information for that office is listed here. That's under the help desk. But the MyOTC portal is a great resource for you to check that the courses that you plan to teach next year are built and in the system and prepared for student enrollment. After enrollment begins, you can also use this location to click on the class that's offered, and then you will see the exact students that are enrolled in that class at any given time. This is also what you will use to enter final grades every time you finish offering an OTC course at your school. Also under MyOTC is how you will access OTC email and how you can access Canvas as well. The otc.edu website is fully searchable, so anytime you need contact information for a department or a specific person, please use otc.edu and type the information within the search box. Students and parents can do this as well. Next, we'll talk about the pre-enrollment process. Before students begin enrolling, we need to ensure that this schedule is accurate for them to enroll. So part of your expectations as an approved instructor is to ensure that in your MyOTC account, the courses that you plan to teach on any given semester are listed there before we begin registration with students. Before we move on to that piece, let's talk a little bit about educational objectives and when you're offering them at your school and what that means for when your students will enroll. If you are teaching the OTC objectives in the fall only semester, we will enroll for their fall semester at OTC. If you are teaching the educational objectives of your OTC approved class in the spring only, we will also enroll those students in the spring semester. However, if you are teaching the OTC objectives throughout the school year, we will not enroll those students until the spring semester. That way the final grade in the year-long course becomes their final grade on the OTC transcript for the course. We work at a college and our system does not work in year-long courses. So in order for the student to get their year-long course grade, we make them wait until spring enrollment. That way their final grade becomes their transcripted grade here at OTC. I'll dive a little bit deeper into some details on the next couple slides. The following example that we will detail into is for a fall semester only course. The dates provided are fall only. However, you can use the information given here and apply that toward whichever semester you will be teaching OTC's educational objectives. Here is a screenshot from inside the My OTC portal. Again, this is at otc.edu, and you look for the My OTC icon and log in. Within that portal, if you go under daily work or hit the faculty button, this screen in My OTC will show the courses that we have planned for fall. If you're teaching a spring only or year-long course, those courses won't be listed in your My OTC just yet, but we will let you know when those are available. So if you're teaching a fall class and planning to teach OTC objectives in that fall semester only, you should log in and see that your course is listed here. If there's any errors of any kind, missing courses, incorrect course numbers, any of that information, please send as soon as possible to dualcredit@otc.edu, and we are happy to help fix that for you. If you're not sure which courses you're approved to teach, those are always available on our website. If you go to otc.edu and type in dual credit options by school partner, look for your school, look for your name, and all of the courses that you're approved to teach are listed there. Those are the courses that you can build within the scheduling process and that students can enroll in. The next item related to the pre-enrollment process is the syllabus. Per our accrediting body, we have to collect syllabus from you for each of the courses that you offer with OTC objectives every semester that you offer the class. This can't just be your high school syllabus. This has to have OTC information in it. We have templates available for you to use. The department chair and lead instructors are great resources for what should be included in your syllabus. When we require those documents from you, we will email you with directions on how to submit that information. It might be that in your class you have your high school syllabus that you provide students and their OTC syllabus for students that are enrolled with OTC. The next item on the pre-enrollment process is to ensure that you understand the registration steps. We get a lot of questions from students and parents about the dual credit process. Those admission steps are located on our website. They're also available in the dual credit letters that we send via email. Each of the admission steps have deadlines posted within. They also have resources and more information to assist as well. If you go to otc.edu and type in dual credit checklist, that will help you understand the enrollment process for students. You can also share that resource with your students as well. And please ensure that you and the students that you work with and their families are following deadlines. Deadlines in college are different than some of the ways that deadlines are practiced in high school. So in dual credit and many colleges, if there's a posted deadline, that is the end date. So if a student misses a deadline, that means they can't enroll with us. So very important to pay attention to deadlines in college. On to the registration steps. Because we are an open admission college, we have less steps, less documents that students have to provide to us in order to enroll. Again, this information is provided in detail on the website and in dual credit letters, but a quick overview of the admission steps are provided here. The bolded items are required. All students have to create an account with OTC and apply to become an OTC student. All students have to submit a registration form each semester. That is the only way we know which courses they're trying to enroll in. And all students have to make payment each semester in order to remain enrolled in the class. If students miss one of the deadlines, they will either not be enrolled in the course or they will be disenrolled in the course. For example, if students do not create an account and apply to become OTC student before the deadline, we cannot enroll them in a course that they're requesting because they don't have an account with us. If a student does step 2 but does not complete step 4, we do not know that they are trying to enroll in a class. We just think they're applying to become OTC students. So both step 2 and step 4 have to be required before the deadline posted. These steps completed the day after the deadline will not be enrolled. Furthermore, if students do not complete the payment process or their bill is paid in full by the school by the deadline, they may have been enrolled in the course, but they will be disenrolled for not making payment in full. Here are the deadlines mentioned specific to the 21 fall semester. These deadlines are all posted on our website in several places, including within the admission steps, on the instructor page, on the school counselor and administrators page, as well as in the dual credit letters. On September 15th, 2021, that is the last day for students to submit step 2 and step 4, their OTC application and their registration form. Obviously, that is not a good day to do it. Anywhere close to the deadline, we are bombarded with questions and concerns, so the earlier the better. Within the first few weeks of school is ideal. That way we can support you and your students best. The closer to the deadline, the less we will be able to assist you. Also at the deadline of September 15th, we need enrollment rosters confirmed by you, that those are the students that are supposed to be enrolled in the class with you. Anytime after that registration deadline, we can disenroll students, but we cannot add students. So the students must complete the admission steps before the deadline, and you must check with them to ensure that all the students that think they shouldn't be enrolled are actually enrolled by the deadline as well. There are no refunds, and students will receive a full bill if they drop after that deadline. There is no bill and there is no payment available for students and parents and schools to make until September 23rd. So we focus first on getting students enrolled and confirming the roster with you. Second, we could start the billing and payment process. Again, those invoices that we send to students and to parents and to schools are not available. They won't distribute until September 23rd. Students and families have until October 21st to pay. Again, this is a hard deadline as well. If students and families miss this deadline, they will be dropped by the college. This is the same practice we have for post-secondary students as well. Students can drop up until December 6th and get a W on their transcript instead of the letter grade earned. At the end of this semester, we will collect a grade book from you. It is your responsibility to send it to us, and then you will also enter the final grade that each student earned in the My OTC portal. Only after those 2 items are completed by you will we begin the remuneration process to close out the semester and send funds back to your school. If you have questions about how much the cost of your class is, those classes are all 35 a credit hour, but if you want to go to otc.edu and type in dual credit options by school, for each of your approved courses, the total cost of the class is listed next to the course that you're approved to teach. Here is one of the ways that you can do roster confirmation before the enrollment deadline in September. is go to otc.edu, log into your MyOTC account, hit the faculty button, and select the course title. So for my course, I would select the Psych 110 hyperlink here, and that will take me to all the enrolled students in my course. A good practice recommended to you is to do a roll call in your class, meet with students one-on-one, whatever works for you and your students, but make sure that all the students that think they're enrolled are enrolled before the deadline. That will save you and the students a lot of headache later on in the semester, because it inevitably happens that students and families think they're enrolled and they're not for whatever reason, and we can't help them after the deadline. So please, please, please do this for yourself, for your students, and for us. Just log in and check with each student to ensure that they know that they are enrolled or not enrolled, again, before the deadline. Also, before the deadline, if you see any errors that you want us to check on, we are happy to do that. We will work with you and the student to make those corrections. You can just send those to dualcredit@otc.edu as soon as possible and before the deadline, and we are happy to help. After the enrollment deadline passes, the students that are enrolled in courses have 3 ways to disenroll from the class. Students can choose to disenroll for whatever reason. They go back to the admission steps provided on our website and simply complete step 4, which is the class registration form. This is the same form used to add classes. However, in this instance, students will select drop instead of add on the enrollment form, and they will only list the courses they wish to withdraw from. We will process this request in the dual credit office and give the student a W on their transcript. Another method is college initiated withdrawal. The college disenrolls students for non-payment, and that includes dual credit students. Again, if payment isn't made by the deadline, students will be dropped and a W will be indicated on their transcript. The third way is the least occurring option, but I wanted you to be aware of it as the instructor of the course. If you have students that disappear on you for whatever reason, they become ill in a long-term capacity, or if they move out of the district, any example of a student issue that would become long-term, it has to be 14 consecutive days that they have missed class. If you contact us, we can help you disenroll that student. That way they get a W on their transcript instead of the F that they will have earned because that enrollment is still pending on their transcript. So if you have any questions or concerns about these 3 items, including the third item, if that happens to you, again, that's a rare event, but we are happy to help you with that as well. Next up is final grades. At OTC, students receive the final grade they earned in the course. Everything that's OTC educational objective related is fair game as far as the student's grade in the class. That might be different from high school requirements that you might have for your course, but I am aware of some dual credit institutions that require students to have a C or better. For academic integrity reasons, that's not a practice or policy that we have at OTC. Students in college classes get the final grade they earned. When it is time for you to submit final grades into the MyOTC portal, we will let you know via an email from dualcredit@otc.edu. You will submit those grades for each student enrolled in the MyOTC portal, as well as a copy of your gradebook to OTC employee. We will indicate in that email who you should submit a copy of your gradebook to. One item to note about the final grade process is that we do have calendar discrepancies between OTC and high school calendars. If at the end of any given semester you need more time to finish your course than what the deadline is indicated in the final grade process from us, please let us know. This is the one deadline that we can be a little bit flexible on. That said, we do have to have final grades from you before breaks. For example, if you need more time than in the fall semester than when the final grade deadline is posted. You can have more time in that window. However, you do need to submit final grades before you leave for winter break. Same in the spring semester and with year-long courses. You can have a little bit more time than the posted deadline for final grades. However, all grades have to be submitted before you go on summer break. And the reason we need you to communicate any extra time needed is for our end of semester processes. The time that you need to submit final grades does impact our registrar's office and application of final grades to transcripts. It impacts our remuneration process here within the office in order to get funds to your school district, and it impacts students and families that are trying to request transcripts and they can't just yet because those final grades aren't posted. Within the slide here is a couple of more pieces of information and reminders about the remuneration process. Next up is 2 more reminders, this time about transcripts. On an OTC transcript, there is no indication of dual credit. An English 101 course taught here at OTC in person is transcribed exactly the same as an English 101 course taught in a dual credit program at El Dorado, for example. English 101, no matter the student type, is transcribed as English 101. Anytime a student or parent needs a transcript, the student themselves, because this is their educational record in college, the students are the only ones that can make that request. No parent, no OTC employee can make that request for students. So students can go to otc.edu and type in transcript at the end of any given semester and begin that process to request their transcript. Students in high school can be several types of student at OTC, and they can participate in various programs. As you can see from this list, we have various options for students to choose from as pathways to earn college credit before they graduate high school. One option that students do a lot of in addition to OTC dual credit is the Early Start program. Since we don't offer dual credit in the summer months, Early Start is a very popular program where students can choose courses more of their choosing. They can do formats like online and seated at any of our campuses. They can pick courses that are in more of an interest area to them. They are treated like freshmen in that program, but I just wanted you to be aware that just because we offer dual credit in the fall and spring only doesn't mean that there's not other options and options for summer months. The dual credit instructor page. In any browser, if you go to otc.edu and type in dual credit instructor and hit the search button, that should take you to this page. This page is a great resource for our instructors. As you can see, dates for the fall are all listed here. Newly eligible instructors, if you've never taught an OTC course, whether that's an adjunct or as a dual credit instructor, I highly recommend you read through this information. If you have questions about course materials, here are some resources for you here as well. Your department chairs are a great resource about course materials. We also have checklists to help you throughout the semester. So here is a first year dual credit instructor checklist. This is a fall only checklist. So each month there are items to do for your fall only course. If that doesn't apply to you, there are other options here. So say you are a second year and beyond instructor, you've been teaching for a while, you have a year-long course. This checklist will be beneficial to you to understand what's expected throughout the semester. Another item to note is our instructor handbook. I encourage you to read through this as well to help you understand expectations and resources in your role as a dual credit instructor. And one last item to note, the enrollment steps, the admission steps are provided here on our website. So students can go through these, you can go through these, and families as well, to note each step in the admissions process. Our deadlines are posted here, and then the payment deadline and information is provided here on this page. In order for us to fulfill our responsibilities to our accreditation, that you completed this event today. Remember, very important, that you have to do an attendance item for the dual credit office, and then as part of your educator conference orientation with your content expert, like your department chair or dual credit instructor liaison, you have to do attendance items for both. So the one item for today is that you send an email to dualcredit@otc.edu. If it's not your school email, please indicate your name and what school you teach through. And please indicate an item that you didn't know, that you learned from the presentation or from exploring our website, and we will use that to track your attendance and mark that as completed. If you don't do that item, there will be a makeup event that you have to participate in, so I strongly encourage you to go ahead and do that now at the close of our presentation and get it out of the way, and we will mark you as complete. Again, that's for accreditation. It's very important, and it will impact your ability to teach dual credit classes if you don't complete these steps required by our accreditation. Last but not least is a big thank you to you. We really do appreciate you and value you, and we're here to help you. There are some things that we have to do that are very black and white, and some deadlines that we have to follow and enforce. But for the most part, we want to be here to support you as an instructor. Here are some reminders about resources that we have. We have the website search tool, we have the dual credit letter, we have the help desk to help you and students with username and password and email issues. We have the dual credit office, and we have department chairs and content experts to assist you as well. If you ever need help with anything, please reach out to us at dualcredit@otc.edu or give us a call at 417-447-8198. Thank you so much. We hope this presentation was helpful to you, and you are able to get back to your summer for a few little bits before you do your educator conference in the fall. Again, please reach out to us if there's anything we can do to help you. Thank you.